How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video, another little live stream podcast, whatever you want to call it. It's been actually exactly a week since we did our last day. Um, Apologize for the break. It's been a little bit hectic going back to school and everything, and getting off of spring break. Yeah, did get a haircut. It is what it is. Um, Today is not a very loaded NBA slate. It's actually pretty small. Only 4 games. None of them are really going to be super interesting. Maybe other than the Cavs. Cavs Nets might be pretty interesting. Um, Clippers Thunder might be okay. Even though it says Thunders. I don't know why it says that. My bad. Um, but looking at the slate, Knicks Magic in Orlando. Knicks are laying 2.5. Jalen Brunson and Mitchell Robinson are both game time decisions. So we'll see, what the injury news is for that and whether or not they're actually going to play. Those are two pretty big deciding factors. And if, they don't end up playing, you might want to live bet the Magic or something like that. Um, the Knicks -2.5. I like the Knicks. I like the Knicks on the road or at home, but without two of their starters, two pretty substantial starters, that might be a little bit of a tough game for them to be able to go and win. Um, I think I'm still going to take the Knicks, so I'm going to take the Knicks for today. Um, my bet might change, but my pick for this video's purposes is going to be the Knicks. I take them laying 2.5 as well if you're looking to bet it. Obviously, if Brunson and Mitchell Robinson are both playing. Um, Over under. I know I don't usually do these mainly because I'm not a big over under fan. I don't really like to pay attention to pace and stuff like that. It's just I really don't have too much of an interest in doing it. But over under 227 seems to be a little high considering the Magic don't usually score a bunch, and usually the Knicks don't go out there and lay 140, 130 points. Um, I would take the under personally, but I mean, don't take my advice for it because I'm 100% not a total points guru in any sense. Um, Moving on to the next game, Cavs Nets. It's in Brooklyn. Um, Cleveland's laying 4 points. I really don't know. The injury news, I don't think there's any injury news. Obviously, there's always some questionables, but they end up playing anyway. Cavs on the road, they're 17-20, and the Nets are pretty good at home, being 19-15. Um, Cleveland laying 4 is a lot, especially being away with not a great away record. Um, I would probably take the Nets spread if I'm taking bets. I'm also probably going to take the Nets money line. I think the Nets are going to win that one. I think they got a good shot at it. Um, as I've said multiple times, I think the Nets are a good team to go with, and I just think they're an overall underrated team. I think the Cavs are maybe a tad bit overrated. I think they, I think they're solid, but against a team that can play defense and they're away and they're laying 4, I don't like it. I like the Nets for this game. Over under is 219, which makes sense because they're not going to be super very. The Nets aren't going to be pushing pace all that often. They're also a very good defensive team, so look for kind of a low scoring game there. I don't really know what to take for the over under on that. If you're good at those, obviously do what you know what to do. I'm going to stay away from it. Moving on to the third game, Hornets Pelicans. It's in New Orleans. Pelicans are laying 9, which is a lot. Pelicans at home are 23-13, so they're 10 games over 500 when it comes to being at home. Hornets, they're bad. 11-26 away. I don't know. 9-point spread, a little bit iffy. Um, I just don't see how the Hornets are going to be able to take that one. I don't love the Pelicans, but I also really do not love the Hornets. So in this one, I think I'm going to take the Pelicans. I think that's the smarter move and the smarter pick to take, especially with them laying 9. Um, you could take the spread. I mean, I'd imagine the money line's going to be pretty high against New Orleans. You might want to buy points down to 7, or take an alternative point line. You could always do that. I would just, me personally, if I'm even going to bet that game, I'm going to throw New Orleans in on a parlay and just their money line, because 9 points is pretty high, even though it's very doable because Hornets play no defense. Their offense is terrible. They're away. Pelicans are good at home. Everything's kind of stacking up for the Pelicans. I just don't have the cojones to bet a 9-point line on a Pelicans team. I just don't. I mean, they're 2 games under 500. I understand that the Hornets are not very good either, but still, that's a tough one. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Pelicans on this one. I haven't been going for very long, only 6 minutes. But the last game of the slate probably will be the one that I watch personally. Clippers Thunder. Both are in play. Both are in the playoffs. The Thunder. The Thunder are at 500, 36 and 36. I'm very surprised. 14 and 21 on the road. Obviously not great. Clippers are 19 and 17 at home, which isn't great either, but it's still better. Clippers are only 3 games above 500. Kind of underperforming, to be completely honest with you. The Clippers are laying 4 at home. I want to say the Thunder beat the Clippers the other night, but I don't remember exactly where that was at. That might have been at home, might have been away. Not really sure. Clippers laying 4, I would take that. I like that. I like how they match up against each other. The Thunder, they've been outperforming everybody. Everybody thought they were going to be a lottery team this year, and then they're competing in the play-ins. It really is surprising. Shai Gilgeous obviously is just doing his thing. Josh Giddey is doing what he needs to do to make sure his team wins. Both of the Williams, they got 2 guys with the last name Williams. They've both been putting up decent little stat lines that can help their team and contribute. So, with the Thunder doing well, I still can't take them over the Clippers at home. That's a tough one to take. Paul George is out. I will mention that is about 20 points a game. That's not going to be on the floor for them. So somebody's going to have to step up, like Russ, or I don't even know who else, because the Clippers had depth, and I just don't feel like they really have. I don't think they have as much depth as everybody likes to think. Russ is obviously going to have to step up a little bit. Kawhi is going to have to be Kawhi. Kawhi needs to shoot the ball a lot more because he shoots efficiently, and when he scores a ton of points, they usually win. That's usually how the Clippers go, and it baffles me that the Clippers will not give the ball to their best player. Could be one of the best offensive scorers in the league if they let him play, but they don't. They like to limit his shots, I guess. Instead, they want to have shots to guys like Mason Plumlee and God knows who else. But with that being said, I'm going to take the Clippers at 4. Look during the game. Look and see if you can't get the Thunder's money line, because I think they still have a chance, especially with Paul George being out. I think he's still out. I'm going to check real quick, but I want to say he is out because from what I heard, it was a pretty rough looking injury. Yeah, Paul George out, Norman Powell out, no injuries for the Thunder. That's a game to keep your eyes on for sure. For sure it is. Sorry, I got something in my eye, I think. Ow. But either way, I'd like to look at the Clippers to win that one. It looks pretty good for them. Even though you have one of your main scorers, your big two that are out. But man, that was a really quick brief run over the slate. I didn't look at any of the I didn't look at any prize pick stuff. As I said, I'm done with prize picks. If it's something that y'all like, I can obviously turn it on so that way y'all can, or I can keep doing it so that way I can have some of those out there for the guys who do prize picks and stuff like that. But um, other than that, there's really not much else to go over. The Mavericks still sucking it up, still doing terrible. It's really sad. I mean, they had Luka and Kyrie both on the floor last night, and they still couldn't get the job done. Um, it's looking rough. I don't even think they're going to be in the playoffs this year. I can go take a look at the standings real quick, but from recent knowledge, they just are not winning games for some reason, and it's not looking good. Yeah, currently they're in the ninth seed. Oklahoma City's above them. Minnesota's above them. The only person below them that's still in the playoffs is the Lakers. I think we're only winning that off of a tie or the fact that we've beaten them. Over the last 10 games, they're 4-6. They've lost two. It's lost two in a row. It's really, really, really abysmal. It's really abysmal for having two superstars on your team. It's really starting to look like the Clippers, but at least the Clippers are a 5 seed. Um, but with that being said, that kind of wraps it up. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what I can do. Obviously, I always say it. Let me know what I can do to make it better. Um, but other than that, good luck on the bets, and I'll be back tomorrow with another one of these.